joining you too. I'll remind them. Perfect for live streaming. Buy one. Love Amazon. I just graduated this summer from a PhD, but I was in the program for 6 years. Thank you. Yeah, just got my frame today, my chair. They bought it for me. But anyway, I enjoyed the half price of Prime for 6 years. Well, not for 6 years. I think they only give you 5 years. They believe that you should have graduated in 4 or 5 years, and after that you have to pay the full price.
Hi, Katie. Justin, how are you?
Good, how are you?
So in the course of the live stream, we're going to make sure that it pans so the family sees all the people. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Because that'll make them
Yeah.
appreciate it. Okay, cool. I knew you had it, but...
Otherwise, I'm gonna be the one to do that, and I never done that before.
Just like the first one for the live vote of mine, it was awesome. So it was like the personal audio and then so plus it's good that somebody else worry about it while you're.
I usually do a lot of training recordings for my colleagues to train them how to work on animation because I'm in charge of animation. One of my colleagues did you want to make it silent?
We don't have to pronounce this.
No, that's when you just go, yep.
We can read it off. It looks, it's really chocolate there, so that's everything. Okay, so I'll do this one, and then once you say I'm filming as a I think we're going to say this one.
So then I haven't asked your name. So do you work in the market office too?
No, I work with
Join my colleague. Posey assigned us to be here to remind them.
Okay.
So do you want to split like you call this one here, I'm the bad guy, or just stay in time out? I have been the bad guy anyway. Yeah, I think it's better than because
She was working, she was at work.
evening. My name is Carly Diebenberg, and I'm the Assistant Director of the International Programs Office here at Youngstown State University. On behalf of the African Student Union, we want to thank you all for coming this evening. It is with a very heavy heart that we are gathered here today in memory of Nekian, Sesay, and Muctar, Kamara. While Nekian's and Muctar's parents couldn't be with us tonight, we would like to welcome their extended family to our campus. In addition, we'd like to thank the Provost, Dr. Brian Smith, Vice President Eddie Howard, the entire IPO staff, Dr. Nate Myers, Dr. Shui-Ping Zhang, Joe Diamato, Kelsey Jones, and Ann Gardner. While we are all mourning the loss of our fellow Penguins, I learned this week that it's the African way to celebrate the life of those that we have lost. So that's what we're about and prepared to do this evening. In addition to welcoming you all to campus, we're also live streaming so that friends and family across the globe can be with us tonight. Since their arrival to YSU, Nekian and Muctar quickly became a fixture on our campus. If you were ever in need of a smile or laugh, these were two students who could be sure to turn your day around. In speaking to faculty members this week, one faculty described Muctar in her class as, quote, a big presence in the classroom and a friend to all. Remembering Nekian, her faculty member quotes her as a kind young woman with a bright future ahead of her. It's proof, as we look around tonight, just how many lives Nekian and Muctar touched during their time at YSU. They were loved by many, family, staff, community members. At this point, we'd like to have a moment of silence to honor and remember Nekian and Muctar. If everyone can please now bow their heads while we take a moment of silence. Thank you. I'd now like to welcome President Jim Tressel to the podium.
Thank you so much, Carly, and this is such an important evening for our Youngstown State University family. We can't thank the International Programs Office enough for the care and concern and reaction to this extraordinary tragedy. It's obvious the care and concern that our IPO staff has for every single one of our students is extraordinary. We're so honored this evening to have some family members of our fallen Penguins. It's such an honor to have you here, and we wanted to make sure that we make it very, very clear that we were blessed to have those two Penguins in our midst and on our campus and a part of our lives. We want all of our university and entire community to know that we're mourning, but we're celebrating. Important evening for us to be together. We're honored that we have the Honorary Consul of Consulate General Amen Kawas here this evening from Detroit, representing the Ambassador of Sierra Leone. As Carly mentioned, we're being live streamed, and we want to make it very obvious to our families over in Sierra Leone that their children were loved, cared for. We're mourning this moment, but we're working extremely hard to make this truly a celebration of the time that we were fortunate to have them, and they will always be a part of the family. By the end of the evening, I pray that you'll truly feel the love here with one another, that we truly value, we truly love every single one of our YSU family. Thank you so much for being here, and please help us celebrate. Thank you.
Thank you, President. Thank you, President Dressel. Now I'd like to welcome to the podium, on behalf of the Ambassador of Sierra Leone to the United States of America, Honorary Consul Ayman Kawas.
The President of the Youngstown State University, faculty, students, bereaved families, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Honorable Ayman Kawas, the Honorary Consul of the Republic of Sierra Leone in Detroit, Michigan. I am representing the government of the people of Sierra Leone during this memorial tribute in honor of our deceased that we lost in a fatal accident. It was with deep regret and sadness that the government of the Republic of Sierra Leone received the tragic news that two of our compatriots, Muctar Kamara and Miss Nekian Sesay, both students at the Youngstown State University, lost their lives on Friday, September 25th, 2020, in a tragic automobile accident on Route 76 in Ohio. This immeasurable loss has not only affected the families and friends of the deceased students, but the entire embassy staff and the Sierra Leonean community in the United States, and as well as in our home country. Late Muctar and Nekian came to study in the Republic of Sierra Leone with their new gained knowledge. Those aspirations and dreams, sadly speaking, ended in a tragedy. May their gentle souls rest in perfect peace in heaven. We also recognize the social impact such a tragedy will have on the student body here at Youngstown. Effect on the classmates, friends, and colleagues of the deceased students. We understand how this has impacted your community. Let us also join those students in solidarity by supporting them to heal as they get through the trauma of this tragic incident. Let me assure you that we stand in solidarity with them all, while encouraging all who are affected in the community to stay strong and safe. Since this tragedy, we have recognized and noticed the incredible leadership and support of Dr. James Dressel, President of Youngstown State University, and his staff have provided to the families of the deceased and the entire student body during this tragedy. As a government and people of the Republic of Sierra Leone, we sincerely thank each and every one of them, and you, of course. And we pray for a special healing for all at Youngstown State University and its community. Therefore, on the behalf of the government of the people of Sierra Leone and the Sierra Leonean diaspora communities in the United States of America, we wish to extend our heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families, console the surviving students, Imran and Sawana and Aisha Sawana, for the traumatic experience in witnessing the loss of their colleagues, while joining the administration and the entire student body of the Youngstown State University in Ohio to stay strong during this tragedy. May the perpetual life and mercy of the God Almighty shine upon all of us. Amen. I thank you all. And this is signed by the Ambassador of Republic of Sierra Leone, Siddiq A.Y. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Kawas. At this time, before our students come to speak about and talk about their friends, we're going to light our candles. So please get your candle prepared. We're going to have members of the ISO, the International Student Organization, come through the crowd to help light the candles. So please stay where you are. And we'll have our student volunteers coming through to help light your candles. Once your candle is lit, you can help those. I'd now like to invite the friends of Nekian and Muctar to the stage.
First of all, I'd like to thank you all for being here today. I know a lot of you had to make a time sacrifice for this. So I'm grateful, but we are all grateful as a family for us being here for one another. I'm not going to take too much of your time. Just going to say a few words in remembrance of two of my friends, Muctar and Nekian, who unfortunately lost their lives in a road accident. Throughout my so-called speech, if I may put it that way, my use of you will be in the plural, so don't get it confused. As in singular, I'm talking about both of them. And, you know, for some time, I was thinking of the word remembrance, right? What's the meaning of the word? It's been lingering in my mind. Prior to what happened, I never gave much importance to that word apart from its use and its official meaning, right? I always associated the word remembrance to the verb to remember. I saw it as a word fit to be in an individual's vocabulary in order to have full contextual conversation in English language. As something worth remembering, that is the word to be used in communication instead of the R's and fillers in the English language. In truth, not until recently did I start digging into the word remembrance and its associated verb to remember. In these thoughts, I had another important question, which arose and kept lingering. I asked myself, what is the best way to remember you? My friends who have departed. What is the best way to remember you in a way that is befitting not only to our relationship as friends, but also to your existence as human beings? Your impact in life, your dreams, your ambitions, your plans, your euphoria, your melancholy. In what way can I remember you to befit how much you meant, not just to me, but to everyone here, to your closest, right? And by these, I mean your family, the people you grew up with, and the places you inhabited with your presence. These thoughts and questions that arose provoked me indeed to finding an important truth. As in my searching for answers to those questions, especially that towards remembrance, I began to have memories. Memories had. Memories of time spent together. However few, and now seen personally as inadequate, still cherished, and a blessed occurrence, and even indeed impacted my life. I'm sorry the tone of this message maybe has been a bit personal, with a lot of phrases in I's and personally. I'm sorry. I think it's not only would it be inadequate, but also very selfish for me to try to portray or even try as much to define meaning that is in regards to remembrance for other people. Everyone has their own unique way of remembering. I remember vividly or vaguely, as I perceive, of the times we met, the first times we met. Walking on campus with no clue of what your names were, meeting at the coffee hour with an official introduction, first accompanied with the highs and the hays, as usual, And then onto the more direct ones as to where do you live? Oh, you're from Sierra Leone. Oh, great. I'm from West Africa too. I'm from Nigeria. We share that commonality, right? And there the bonding starts. Down to, oh, you play soccer? I never knew you play soccer. I play soccer too. Oh, you play FIFA? Oh, I play FIFA too. Oh, you know what? We should hang out sometime. We should play the Xbox sometime. I still remember when we first hung out. That was the first time I hung out in like forever. I mean, with friends. The games we played. I also remember the preparation and performance at the African night. You two, most especially, motivated me out of my comfort zone into dancing on the stage after witnessing how enthusiastic your movements were. I remember my guy Moose coming over to my place to beat me in FIFA and 2K. I always wanted to settle the score. Cheeky of me, I kept scores. I remember when I realized you changed the name on my Xbox profile to your name after lending it to you 2 weeks before final. I was angry at first, not so much the fact that you changed the name, but because I had to pay money to rechange the name back to mine. And looking back now, I realize it would have been money worst spent. I figure everything happens for a reason. The answer to my questions were there all along, in my memories. How best to remember you? Than through the memories and experiences we shared. How best to remember someone than through those? Tell me. The emotions we share, the respect we share, and everything worth being mutual that we share. In these, I remember befitting all that is worth remembering and all that is worth remembering for. Do I or do we not remember you in these? Much more not in actions that are, but in actions that were. I'm certain and hope that this is not the end and that we will meet again. Thank you very much for your time. This is for Moose and Nekian, my two beloved friends and two beloved members of our family. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Nekian and Muctar were not only friends to me, they were more than friends. They were family to me. Nekian and I met on the very first day of our orientation, and we have been together ever since. She was kind, calm, poised, and always cheerful. And Muctar was a little opposite. He was full of energy, lively, bringing joy everywhere he goes. We all know, we have all seen Nekian dance.
she's an incredible dancer, but not everyone, I don't think everyone knows that she was also an excellent cook. She introduced me to African food. I will forever miss her special couscous. And Muctar, if you know him, you'll know that he would always be on his phone, always texting and talking to friends and families. And I would wonder and ask, how can you be on your phone 24/7? And now I wish he was on his phone. I would dial his number. He would answer my call and we could talk. They say godly die before they die, and now I believe this is true. I will always love them, and I will always miss them, and I know I'm not alone. Everyone here tonight loves them. And thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you for your love and support. Thank you.
Hello? Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Tumi. I was friends with both Nekian and Muctar. One thing you're going to hear very often from me and from everybody else is the fact that they were both family to us. And it's less of being African and more of who they were. They were very welcoming people. They loved with all their heart. Nekian, she gave me so much joy. Nekian she was such a happy person, and it was heartwarming. I'm going to miss them terribly. I'm going to miss dancing together. I'm going to miss sleepovers. I'm going to miss cooking. I'm going to miss so much, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful I allowed myself to be touched by their friendship. I'm grateful I allowed myself to be loved by them and to love them. And I'm just grateful that I allowed myself to have memories with them. I want to thank everybody again for coming. Like, this means a lot to us. I'm very grateful to you all. And yeah, I hope you have a good time. As good as it gets, I guess.
Hello everyone, my name is Serene Koirala. Thank you everyone for being here. I would like to talk about both Nekian and Muctar, but I will start with my beautiful girl first. My girl Nekian, she was an angel. She was so pretty inside out. I met her through Isa and Imran, and before we knew it, we became family. They made sure I was part of everything and introduced me to the entire African Student Union and their culture, where I met so many good friends, including Muctar, that I'm thankful for. She was a sister and a friend to me. I miss my baby girl so much. She was always cheerful, always energetic, at times funny, and most of all very supportive. I remember my very first ramp walk that happened in African night at Youngstown State. I was so nervous, but the way Nekian and Isa hyped me up encouraged me to go for it. Nekian gave me her stylish African dress, and as I was trying it on, I started doubting myself. But again, it was so easy for her to lift me up. No matter what the situation was, if I asked for something, I always got tons of support from them. Every time Isa and Nekian would call, I knew it was going to be a blast. They would call me with so much excitement. The funny part is every time Isa would call, but Nekian would talk, and vice versa. Hearing them always made my heart happy, and they would speak at the same time, and having a hard time with English, I would have to slow them down and make them repeat all the time. I miss that so much now. Muctar, or Moose, as people knew him as, he was one of the funniest people I met so far. He loved to dance. I used to try and copy his steps but failed miserably. Sometimes those memories just pop in my head. Let's say wherever music was, Moose would be there to hype up the place. Moose was a caring friend. 2 weeks ago, I was supposed to stop by at Nekian's place and I couldn't make it then. He called me an hour later asking if I was alright because I didn't show up, and he got worried. That meant everything in the world to me, and it confirmed how lucky I was to find friends like family. Heaven took them too soon, but I'm very grateful that I met them. I got a chance to make memory with them, which keeps my heart very warm and reminds me of their presence. Moose and Nekian's entire family and close friends are always in my thought and prayers. I love you so much, Nekian and Muctar. We'll miss your gorgeous smile, funny jokes, and our bond forever.
Okay, sorry. Hello, good night. My name is Jamie Bellet. I actually didn't want to come to this school at first, and my first year was pretty rough. I didn't really have anybody here or anyone to talk to. But that all changed when I started talking to Tumi, you talked earlier, and she introduced me to the African Student Union. And with it came all of these wonderful people, including Nekian and Muctar. They added light in the darkness that I was in my first year. Nekian, she was always a calm and loving person. She was a voice of logic and reason. I even remember, like me, I'm a silly person. Even during our game nights of the African Student Union, when we would play these games to see who could come up with the funniest jokes, and whoever, and we would all vote to see what the funniest joke. Like, whatever I come up with, she would just kind of watch me in bizarreness, and I would just laugh because, she just showed her own personality. Muctar is a real one. It was just a few weeks ago, I remember, I had to bring this bed for Aisha, because I was moving up from my old apartment. I was bringing this bed in, and me and these two big tough guys, we were trying to get this bed into the apartment building, and we couldn't do it. And then Muctar's like, "Yo, Jimmy, don't worry about that, man. I got this, bro." And I'm like, "Okay." I just left. I think it was a day later, I saw he actually got the bed inside just by himself. Never actually found out how he did that. But yeah, I'll miss them. They made my experience here at YSU 1,000 times better, and I'm forever grateful for that.
My name is Paris Uche Mwagu, and this is my memorial message from Muctar and Nekian. Hidden in the darkness and hidden in the pain lie the echoes of my heart, still questioning humanity and beyond, wondering why it had to be my Muctar and my Nekian to leave me so soon. I would have never imagined doing something as painful as this for my family. I would have never imagined feeling as broken as this, speaking to you both, Nekian and Muctar, without seeing you physically. I lay down my head, each night you're not there, and I dream of us inside the oceans, swimming together, living happy, wild and free. Then I wake up to reality, and I feel you all around me, but only in spirit and forever in my heart. If I could ask for one thing, it would be to hold you both one more time and say goodbye. I miss you, and I love you always. My Nekian, babe, you're so kind and loving by nature. Heaven is lucky to have you. I've always loved you and I always will. I'm just so lucky we told each other that often while we still had the chance. Keep showing the angels the same love you always showed me. I feel jealous of them already. And my mousse supreme, with all the drip the world could offer. I love you so much, but you know that already. And what we shared, no one else could understand. Best believe that when I see you, the first thing I'm going to do is pounce on you with one of our signature big hugs. You've truly got that everlasting drip, and I'm sure everyone on the other side stares at you in awe of all your beauty. I guess this is goodbye for now, but you already know the drill. You both live in my heart forever, and in my life as well. I'll hold you again when God decides. Love, praise.
Hi, my name is Dora Anyao. I remember the first day I met Nekian. It was to dance for African Student Union. We all know she was the best dancer, and she was creating the dance. She welcomed me into her home, along with Aisha and Imran, and from there we all clicked. We all shared secrets with each other. I shared things with her that family back home didn't know, friends didn't know, and she was everything to me. They were everything to me. I met Muctar in January. Most people know him as Moose, but to me he was Wu-Tang. I messed his name up the first time I heard it, and so he always called me Deb. If there's anything I want you guys to know is that they loved who they loved. And I always felt that love. And lucky for me, I have no doubt that they know that I love them because we always shared it with each other. It's almost like a dream to me. Every day I wake up and I hope that it's not real. I'm hoping that I don't ever have to see them. Hoping that I don't ever have to believe it and feel it and know that it's real. I still remember Muctar, Wu-Tang, could always call you. You never needed to call you and need something. He could just call to check on you. I had gone for a job interview and told him I was coming back, and I didn't come back. And he called me and he said, you know, Deb, you were supposed to come back. I'm just checking on you. Goodbye. It was really painful. To Nekian and Muctar, I want to thank you for showing me what unconditional love was like. Anger didn't get in the way of our love. My stubbornness did not get in the way of our love. To Nekian, my dancer, my cook, it will never be the same to dance without you. I will always remember you for who you are and who you were to me. A sweet little sister of mine that was always there to cook me something when I wanted and to love me when I needed it. And to Muctar, I will always be grateful for the times that we shared and everything that I ever was able to tell you in this short time that I got to know both of you. I love you guys forever. Good evening again, and thank you guys all for being here. My name is Dora now, and I am the president of African Student Union.
Good evening all, my name is Praise. I was a former president of the African Student Union and current student advisor for the African Student Union. We're here tonight to remember the lives of our dear friends, Nekian Florence Sesay and Muctar Bankole Kamara.
The truth is, Nekian and Muctar were not our friends. They were our family. The way we lived, the things we did for each other, even to say some of my own family or our own family wouldn't do for each other. The international students here, whether they were from African Student Union or just the International Student Organization, had an understanding with each other. We knew we were our only family here and that we were all we had. We knew that family isn't defined by blood and that we would always be there for each other in any situation.
We laughed and we cried together. We are together. We danced together. We celebrated life and hated it when times got hard. But we were always there to comfort one another in those times. And that hasn't changed even up till now.
We suffered a huge loss the day we lost them. Those that were closest to them, and even those that only had a few moments with them, are all bearing this pain. We're in shock, and most of us even in doubt that this has really happened to our brother and sister.
To the families of Nekian and Muctar, we want you to know that we mourn with you, and we are here for you, and that we will always be family, just like they were to us. We are praying for healing for you guys, as well as for all of us.
To Aisha and Imran, we are praying for a speedy recovery for you guys. We know that everything is hard to process right now, and we want you to be focused on just recovering. But when things get difficult, we will be here for you and praying for you and your families.
And we wish peace and healing upon everybody during this time.
Although we are here because of tragedy, we wanted to remember Nekian and Muctar as who they were to us and not what happened to them.
We know you're in a better place now, but we wanted to remember that we all here on earth, we always loved you, and we always will.
Thank you for those beautiful tributes. For our closing remarks this evening, I'd like to welcome Dr. Nate Myers, Associate Provost for International and Global Initiatives.
Before I close with my remarks, we want to acknowledge that the families back home, to the families back home who are watching via live stream, your son and your daughter found a place here that they called home. And it was not their home, but it was a home that they found affirmation, they found comfort, they found love, and they found friendship. And I think listening to their friends here tonight, that we can all feel that. And we want to acknowledge the family members seated here that drove many hundreds of miles to be here tonight, to pay respect to the memory of these two students who left us so soon. And our thoughts are still with Aisha tonight, who is recovering, and Imran, who I may be here. I was looking around for him. And we remain thankful that in the midst of the tragedy, there was some mercy. You know, there's a very old expression, and I know that everyone here tonight has heard that, and it goes something like this: we come into the world alone and we die alone. But the events of this last week have shown me that this is not true. This is not true in the least. And I think of Muctar's huge personality, and I didn't know he was called Moose, but I talked to him not 3 weeks ago, and he called me in my office. I picked up the phone and said hello, and there was Muctar. He said, "Hey, Dr. Myers, it's your favorite boy, Muctar." It's just the kind of guy he was. If you saw a group of students smiling and laughing, you knew Muctar was going to be somewhere there right around. He had that gift to lift everyone up, turn everyone's frown into a smile. He was a special boy. And I think of Nekian's positivity and kindness. You know, I was telling someone earlier, during her first day on campus, during orientation, she needed some help finding some things, and the staff was busy, so I said, "Well, come with me, let's walk." And so she and I walked around campus together, just she and I, for about an hour and a half. Usually don't get to spend that kind of time with a particular student. But I learned that she loved her father. She couldn't stop talking about her father. Every other word out of her mouth was about something her father told her or taught her, or how much she missed her father. And the other thing I found during my time walking with Nekian was that she found this place to be beautiful. And I think that her friends can attest to that. She found Youngstown to be beautiful. Well, I want to say that if you spend any time with them, you'll know that they were raised very well, these two. And their parents, they did a very good job. So that expression that we come into the world alone and we die alone, it's not true. They came into this world surrounded by love. They came into this world surrounded by people who knew them and loved them and cared about them. And on Friday night, 1 week ago, they departed this world, surrounded by a community here at Youngstown State who knew them and loved them and cared about them. And in between those 2 points, they left us all with many memories that it's not going to fade away. We honor their memory here by holding those that we care for standing with us ever closer. Life is so short. We honor their memory by choosing kindness each and every day, just as they were so kind. Kindest people I've ever met. And we honor their memory by coming together tonight as a community to acknowledge their lives, to express our gratitude for the time that we spent together, and to express our eternal hope that we are better for the time that we spent walking next to them in the time that we had. They left too soon. And today, we are sad, and that's okay. Sad is not the right word because the depth of our grief, it's almost unfathomable. But tonight we need to take Nekian and Muctar's friendship with us. And let us take those memories that the students spoke about and their friends spoke about. Let us take those memories to warm us. We'll take their laughter and let's never let go of their laughter. And we'll take it as a token that while life can be so short, it can also be so good. In remembering them, we will continue to walk in the way of kindness and love and friendship. And our paths, they will be forever shaped by knowing them, Nekian and Muctar. Our deepest sympathy is with the parents thousands of miles away watching tonight, and our deepest sympathy is with the family gathered here and with their extended family and their fellow students here at Youngstown State University.
Thank you, Dr. Myers. I'm going to end the evening with two prayers, the first of which from Reverend Gail Catanella.
Good evening, everyone. To this diverse community, I offer my deepest condolences and also my deepest respect as we pray together. O God of mercy and compassion, we call upon you this night as we mourn the loss of our friends. We gather to remember and to thank you for their lives and the way just having them here made the world better. We lift up our broken hearts and ask you to heal the hurt and also to fill our hearts with a sense of purpose. We do not leave here alone and defeated. We have here a community of care, a community of curiosity and wonder, a community that is more compassionate for having shared this loss. We ask you, God of healing and justice, to send us forth from this place to create a legacy, not based on loss, but on love. We leave here determined to make the world better in whatever way our skills and talents allow, in the name of our friends. We mourn all that they were not able to do, but we pick up the torch and carry it into the world in determination and hope. Let us bless the world with our grief-inspired sense of purpose, and let us always do that together. Thank you, all-loving God, for this time to remember that you are always with us, always loving us, and always calling us to be a sign of your love. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Gail. Also like to welcome back to the podium Mr. Kawas for a final prayer.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على خير الخلق والنور العرش، والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيتها النفس المطمئنة ارجعي إلى ربك راضية مرضية فادخلي في عبادي وادخلي في جنتي. صدق الله العلي العظيم. My dear brothers and sisters, I just quoted a short verse from the Quran, chapter 89, verse 27 through 30. And it says, O you soul that it's in tranquil state, return to thy Lord in full content, and with full content return to thy Lord. Join the righteous worshippers so that you may enter paradise. We ask God, the Almighty, to grant us all the power and the patience for us to heal in a timely manner, to grant the families that the deceased left behind the courage to pull through, and to grant each and every one of you the power of healing. See, I'm touched by this community. I did not expect this. I cannot say enough words to portray my appreciation for this wonderful community. See, Sierra Leone have lost two beautiful souls. They crossed the Atlantic in pursuit of a higher learning, higher education, pursuit of knowledge. And for us in Islam, if you pass away while in that journey, you're considered a martyr. And this is one of the highest levels of stature you can have in Islam. And so may God bless their souls, grant them heaven, and grant you guys all the power and the courage to heal fast and go back to your normal lives very soon. Thank you. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Kalas. And again, on behalf of the African Student Union, the International Programs Office, and all of us here at YSU, thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for sharing your stories, your memories, and helping us to remember our dear friends, Nekian and Muctar. If anyone has brought a letter for the family, we will be collecting those. If students still want to provide us with a letter, we'll be collecting those at the IPO through the month so that we can make sure to send those off to the family. If any student feels they would like to talk to Student Counseling Services, we do have 2 counselors with us this evening that would be happy to talk with you. They're at either sign-in table here, so please, we are in this together, and if you need someone to talk to, please reach out to the Student Counseling Services. This concludes our program this evening. Please be safe, and thank you for coming.